class we had seen the first two children. They were adopted by two different persons. Today we are going to see the third child, Maggie. What happened to Maggie? You may please take page number 78 in your textbook. But no one said, I will take Maggie. Pitying glances were cast on her wan and wasted form, and thoughts were troubled on her account. So no one was ready to take care of Maggie. Why? She is a bedridden girl. So no one wanted to take care of Maggie, and other two, they were already adopted by two different persons. Pitying glances were cast on her wan and wasted form. Wan means the pale, wasted form. Why? Because there is no use. She is a bedridden girl, and everyone, they thought that there is no use with this girl. So pitying glances, looking, people started to look towards this girl with the pitying eyes. And on her account, regarding her, about her matter, all were discussing. Mothers brought cast of garments, and removing her soiled and ragged clothes, dressed her in a clean attire. Few mothers in the village, they brought cast of garments. The cast of garments means the dress which already used, second-hand dresses. They brought the second-hand or the cast of garments and removed the soiled and ragged clothes of Maggie. Soiled and ragged. Rag means the torn. Torn clothes removed and dressed her in a clean attire. Attire means clothes. So they removed all the soiled and ragged clothes and dressed her in a good clothing. The sad eyes and patient face touched the heart of many people, and they were trying to show their compassion, and even it not for entrance. Entrance means someone would be there to adopt this girl, but no one was ready. What was the reason? Who wanted a bedridden child? So that is the condition of Maggie. The first two children were adopted, but the third one, no one wanted to adopt this poor girl. And they were having all the compassion and kindness towards this girl. That is why the author had mentioned the face or the sad eyes. They touched many hearts or many people, but no one was ready to take care of this girl or adopt this girl. Now, next paragraph. Take her to the poorhouse, said a rough man, of whom the question, what is to be done with Maggie, was asked. Nobody is going to be bothered with her. So one solution. Everyone was thinking about Maggie, and pitying glances were cast on Maggie, and one person came with one idea. Take this poor girl to the poor house. Poor house is a place where the orphans are treated. So one person gave a suggestion to take this poor girl to the poor house, because the question, what is to be done with Maggie, was asked to this rough person. So he answered, take her to the poor house. In an answer to that one, someone said, the poor house is a sad place for a sick and helpless child. Answered one, that is not a better place for a sick person or sick child like Maggie. One person answered. Then in an answer to that, the rough person, he said, for your child or mine, because for your child and my child, they have got their parents, but for this girl, that is a better place. For my child and for your child, poor house is a bad place and a poor condition. But for this girl who is now orphaned, for this girl, that place will be something good. Said the other, lightly speaking, but for this brat means child, will prove a blessed change. she will be kept clean, have healthy food and be doctored, which is more than can be said of her past condition. Why does the rough man say it will be a blessing for the poor girl like Maggie, because she will get proper care there in poor house. She will be kept clean, have healthy food and be doctored, which is more than can be said of her past condition. We know the past condition of Maggie, a small house and mother, she used to drink and it was not a good condition past time. But here Rothman says that the poor house will be a good condition, a good situation for Maggie. At least she will get the medicines and the food and there will be people to take care of this girl. So that is why the person says, take Maggie to the poor house. There was reason in that, but still it didn't satisfy. There is reason in what? In taking to the poor house, because she will get proper care from poor house. So there is a reason in that one. But for many people, it was not acceptable, because the condition in the poor house for like these girls, a sad and a sick girl, it is something very horrible. So many were not satisfied with the idea of taking Maggie to poor house. The day following the day of death was made the day of burial. So the next day, the burial was done. A few neighbors were at the miserable hovel. Hovel means the shed. So few neighbors were standing near to the miserable, the shed where the dead body was kept. But no one followed that cart as it bore the unhonored remains to its pauper grave. Pauper means the poor grave. Some people were standing near to the shed or the hut, but no one followed the burial cart, the cart which carried the body. Why? Because it carried the unhonored remains to the proper ground or proper grave. The unhonored remains means this woman was not acceptable in the society or in the village, so no one was ready to accompany the burial cart or the dead cart. Then Farmer Jones, after the coffin was taken out, placed John in his wagon and drove away, satisfied that he had done his part. So Farmer Jones, we had seen about him, he was ready to take or adopt the first child, John, 12-year-old boy. Once the coffin was taken, coffin means the box in which the body is kept, the dead body is kept. Once it is taken, then immediately Farmer Jones kept John in his wagon, in his car, and drove away. And he thought that he had done his part and he had fulfilled his responsibility. Then Miss Ailey spoke to Kate with a hurried air, bid your sister goodbye, and threw the tearful children apart, erased scarcely their lips had touched in a sobbing farewell. So the next person, Miss Alice, also asked Kate to say goodbye to her sister Maggie, and then she drew the children from each other, and they even did not get a chance to give a farewell kiss. That is why the author mentioned scarcely their lips had touched. Even a farewell kiss they couldn't give, and in a sobbing farewell, weeping, both were weeping because they knew that they are going to be separated. Hastily others went out, some glancing at Maggie and some resolutely refraining from a look, until all had gone. So all were just leaving, trying to leave the place. Some were looking towards Maggie with pitying glances, but some others resolutely, willingly refraining, that means restraining. They were not even ready to look towards Maggie. Why? Because they thought that by looking itself, they may get the responsibility of Maggie, so they didn't even care. So all had gone from the place. She was alone. Just beyond the threshold, Joe Thompson, the wheelwright, paused and said to the blacksmith's wife, who was hastening off with the rest. So all the people gone, but only two people were there. The first one, Joe Thompson, the wheelwright. Wheelwright means the person who repairs the wheels and makes the wheels. And the other person is blacksmith's wife. And she also was trying to leave this place. So, then Mr. Joe Thompson said to blacksmith's wife, it is a cruel thing to leave her so. It is something very cruel to leave Maggie here alone. Then take her to the poorhouse. She will have to go there, answered the blacksmith's wife, springing away and leaving Joe behind. So when Joe Thompson asked, it is something very cruel thing to leave this poor girl here alone, then blacksmith's wife, she answered that, then take this girl to the poorhouse and she will get a proper care there. Then springing away, jumping and leaving the place immediately with the others. So she also went from the place. So only Joe and Maggie left there at the house. For a little while, the man stood with a puzzled air. Then he turned back and went into the hall again. Maggie, with painful effort, had raised herself to an upright position and was sitting on the bed, straining her eyes upon the door out of which all had just departed. A vague terror had come into her thin white face. So all the people had gone, and Mr. Joe Thompson, he was standing there and went inside the hovel, and he found that Maggie was trying to sit by her own, and there was a vague terror in the eyes of this poor girl. Why? No one was there. Nobody. Everyone had left the place, so no one was ready to take care of Maggie. So there was a vague terror there in the eyes of Maggie. Oh, Mr. Thompson, she cried out, catching her suspended breath. Don't leave me here all alone. Then Maggie said, till this we did not see any dialogue from Maggie, but here Maggie says something to Mr. Thompson. After realizing that no one was there to take care of her, then she said to Mr. Thompson, don't leave me alone. By catching her suspended breath, it means controlling her breathing, she just asked Mr. Thompson, don't leave Maggie there. Though rough in exterior, Joe Thompson, the wheelwright, had a heart, and it was very tender in some places. In exterior, in appearance, he was a very rough person, but interior, actually he was a good person. That means he had a good heart to help other people. The wheelwright had a heart, and it is very tender. That means very soft. Means the heart which can understand the feelings of other people, which can help other people. So Mr. Joe Thompson was having a heart which is very kind towards other people and which is ready to help other people. That is why the author says, which is very tender in some places. He liked children and was pleased to have them come to his shop, where sleds and wagons were made or mended for the village lads without a draft on their hoarded sixpences. Mr. Thompson loved children and pleased to have them in her shop, where the carts or the sleds and wagons, sleds means the cart without the wheels and the wagons with the wheels were made or mended. Mended means repaired for the village lads, village children. So he used to give toys or makes toys for children, and he was very helpful towards the children without a draft on their hoarded sixpences, without getting money, without demanding for money from children. He used to make something for children without draft on their hoarded. Hoarded means the money children keep for their future use. Sixpences means the silver coins. Without demanding any money or without getting money from children, he used to help the children and make some toys for the children. So interior he was a kind-hearted person. Exterior he was a rough person, but he was having a kind heart which was ready to help other people. No dear, he answered in a kind voice, going to the bed and stooping down over the child. So in an answer to Maggie, he said that he is not ready to leave Maggie alone there, and he just went near to the bed and stooping means bending down towards the bed. You shall not be left here alone. Then he wrapped her with a gentleness almost of a woman in the clean bedclothes which some neighbors had brought, and lifting her in his strong arms, bore her out into the air and across the field that lay between the hovel and his house. Mr. Thompson was not ready to leave this poor girl alone there at house, so he entered the house and stood near to the bed and said to Maggie that he is not going to leave the girl alone there. And with almost the gentleness of a woman, he just carried the girl to his house. So that is enough for today. You may please go through the story we had discussed so far. Thank you. Have a nice day.